Hello Manchester United fans. Manchester United already have replacements for two defenders who are leaving. Four players are set to be released by Man United this summer and two of them are centre-backs. Johnny Evans ran the tunnel at Carrington last week to mark his return to training after a 4-month absence. Evans will get a louder ovation when he walks out of the Old Trafford tunnel next month for one last time against Aston Villa. It would be his final appearance in an impeccable 18-year professional career. The 37-year-old's probable release by Manchester United this summer should also signal Evans' retirement. He admitted that had he not received a new contract last year he would have hung up his boots. 3 Premier League titles, 2 League Cups, the FA Cup and the Club World Cup at United alone is a remarkable return. Evans also represented Northern Ireland at their first major tournament in 30 years and shielded the Leicester City goal in their first and only FA Cup final triumph in 2021. Evans' goodbye will then possibly be interrupted by an overbearing official beckoning him onto the United coach bound for Manchester Airport. United's post-season tour matches in Malaysia and Hong Kong are sufficient punishment for their worst set of players in 51 years. It would be borderline callous to take Evans. The penny pinchers at Ineos may also take a dim view of forking out for a plane ticket for a player who will never get a competitive kick for United again. Victor Lindelof and Christian Eriksen will also be let go in June yet could have to board a flight for Kuala Lumpur. United are flying 7,039 miles only for the money, with their 5-day trip due to rake in the best part of £10 million. Ordinarily, 2 centre-back departures would demand reinforcements. Not with Lindelof and Evans. The former has started 8 times this season and Evans has lined up in 6 games. Both have been injury-prone for upwards of a year. Evans' body was bound to creak amid his unexpectedly large amount of playing time last season. United only triggered the 1-year extension in Lindelof's contract as they had planned to sell him last summer. Instead, they were saddled with an unsellable defender who has seen out the final year of an excessive and inexplicable 6-year contract. This season is certain to be the fewest appearances Lindelof has made for United since his arrival in 2017. For a team with a -8 goal difference and one senior striker with 1 goal in 28 games, United botched the balance of their first 2 transfer windows under the Ineos cabal. 6 of their 7 recruits have been defensive players. Patrick Dorgu, a left-back, is doubling as a winger but United have given a new meaning to building from the back. Lenny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt and Aiden Heaven are centre-backs, Nasser Mazraoui a full-back and Manuel Ugarte a defensive midfielder. The only attacker was the goal-shy Joshua Zirkzee, who scored in 2 Premier League games. Man United make final decision on signing Victor Osimhen as transfer priority decided. Manchester United are expected to splash the cash this summer. Manchester United have reportedly decided that they will not pursue Victor Osimhen this summer. The Nigerian striker has been heavily linked with a move to the Premier League at the end of the season, with the Red Devils largely cited as one of his suitors. Ruben Amorim has made it no secret that he is keen to shake up his ranks this summer, with reinforcements being eyed in every department. United view solving their goal-scoring woes as one of their biggest priorities in the window, with Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund both failing to justify their respective price tags, and the latter potentially departing as a result. Several options have been shortlisted by the higher powers at the club, though the Athletic report that Osimhen is not on the agenda at the Theatre of Dreams. Instead, Ipswich Town star Liam Delap has been selected as the club's top number 9 target. The 22-year-old has impressed since heading to Portman Road, and with his release clause dropping to £30 million upon Ipswich's relegation, numerous clubs around Europe have made it clear they are keen to acquire his services. Chelsea, Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund are among Delap's other suitors, but United remain hopeful of luring the ex-Manchester City youngster to the club. Signing another number 10 is also the Red Devils' priority, with Wolves' Mateus Cunha their main focus. The Brazilian penned a new deal at Molineux in February that included a £62.5 million release clause, which United reportedly intend on activating. Nottingham Forest, Arsenal and Aston Villa have been linked with Cunha previously, but United are leading the race over their rivals as it stands. Amorim's side have allocated funds for the Delap and Cunha deals, but sales may be required to facilitate additional marquee incomings. Jadon Sancho, Antony, and Marcus Rashford were all loaned out in the January transfer window and could depart permanently this summer. Kobbie Mainoo has also been linked with a move away from his boyhood side after struggling to tie down a role in Amorim's 3-4-3 system. Similarly, Alejandro Garnacho could depart after coming close to leaving the club in January, and both youngsters are being heavily monitored by Chelsea and top clubs outside of the Premier League. David Ornstein shares bombshell Osimhen to Man United update. Manchester United are reportedly in the race to sign Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, but The Athletic's David Ornstein has suggested that a deal is unlikely to happen in the summer transfer window. Adding a new centre-forward could be one of United's priorities this summer, with Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee both struggling to hit the heights expected of them. The Red Devils have endured a difficult season, with many suggesting that bringing in a new striker would help take them to the next level. United undoubtedly need more signings than just a striker, with Ruben Amorim's side struggling to create chances and conceding goals at will. Osimhen, described as world-class, could be on the move this summer after Napoli allowed him to join Galatasaray on loan for the second half of the season, but he's now unlikely to head to Old Trafford. Ornstein, Man United unlikely to sign Osimhen. They have other options. Speaking on NBC Sports, Ornstein has provided an update on Manchester United's pursuit of a striker ahead of the summer transfer window. The respected reporter has confirmed that United are unlikely to make a move to sign Osimhen, with the Nigerian international not on their agenda. I'm assured it will not be Victor Osimhen, despite reports you might be reading. He is not on the agenda for Manchester United. They will have other options, because they might have to turn to them, or they stick with internal solutions, such as Rasmus Højlund. Reports have suggested that United are increasingly intent on signing Osimhen, reaching a basic agreement on personal terms. However, Ornstein doesn't believe the Napoli forward is one of their targets heading towards the summer transfer window. Adding a new striker to Amorim's squad is still likely to be a priority for United, with Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano confirming that they have held talks to secure the signature of Ipswich centre-forward Liam Delap. Man United news, Marcus Rashford makes transfer preference clear as Man City consider release clause. Manchester United face a number of tricky decisions ahead of next season, including on the future of forward Marcus Rashford, while Matheus Cunha has been identified as a potential replacement. Manchester United could face a very busy summer after a disastrous season. The Red Devils have endured their worst-ever Premier League campaign under Ruben Amorim. A huge squad overhaul is planned, with a number of current first-team stars potentially set for exits. That could include Marcus Rashford, who is currently in the middle of a loan spell with Aston Villa. And should he exit, that could potentially open the door to a move for Wolves star Matheus Cunha, who has been identified as priority signing for the Red Devils. Away from transfers, there's still plenty for United to do between now and the end of the season. They are in the Europa League semi-finals and will take on Athletic Bilbao, with a potential matchup with Spurs in the final to come. With all of that being said, take a look at all of the standout headlines from Old Trafford. Rashford reveals preference. Marcus Rashford is reportedly not keen on moving to London should he leave Man United this summer. The forward is widely expected to depart permanently after his loan spell with Aston Villa. The Midlands side have a £40 million option, albeit that is far from certain. It is suggested that Rashford will not be rushed into a decision and is happy to wait until mid-June. He however does not want to move to the capital, with Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham all consequently ruled out. Meanwhile, he is also determined to be playing in the Champions League next season. Man City compete for Porto star. Man United and Man City could go head-to-head for the signing of Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa. The Red Devils may look to replace Andre Onana, while Ederson's City future looks quite uncertain. Mirror Football understands that City are set to step up their interest with Costa. He has a £63 million release clause written into his contract, but club chiefs are keen to negotiate that down. Neville greenlights Cunha move. One man who could be drafted in as a replacement for the outgoing Rashford is Wolves star Matheus Cunha. United have already been linked with a move for the Brazilian, and Gary Neville would be a big fan. They're desperate in that position, he would suit the system. You think of what Manchester United are playing now. They've let Jadon Sancho, Antony and Marcus Rashford go, 3 players who more naturally travel with the ball, Neville told Sky Sports. They're playing with Garnacho at the moment, but that leaves them lopsided. On the other side it's Xerxes or Bruno Fernandes stepping up. Mason Mount is sometimes there too. They need someone who can beat players, someone who is equally as good at running through the middle with the ball as well as sometimes going outside. He's the type of